I'm LaClaw Scott, and we are reviewing Fresh.
So the only reason I watched this movie is because you recommended it. I had seen the ads for it, but the ads didn't really pull me in. Like I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know even what genre it was. I just know it was the guy from Tom and Pammy Lee, or
Yes,
Tommy Lee and
it,
Pam, or Pam and Tommy.
yes, Pam and Tommy Lee. Yes, exactly. Like I think that was what prompted me to see it because it was being promoted around the same time as the series on Hulu. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll check this out. And then another friend of mine had said that they saw it and that they actually recommended it. They're like, oh, you love horror. And I was like, I would have never known that from just the visuals that are on Hulu that it was a horror film.
Yeah, it
I was
almost
like,
seemed
okay.
like kind of like romantic comedy-ish.
Yes. That's what I totally expected going in because I think they meet each other at the grocery store. And I'm like, oh, okay. The film takes many different turns.
Right. So I liked it from a horror movie perspective. I thought it was good. I never saw the Human Centipede, but it kind of seemed like it was along those lines, right? Like you keep these people alive while you're torturing them. It almost seemed like it could have been a Korean movie.
Oh, kind of like
Old boyish,
Audition or yeah.
Like, we're keeping you here, but we're also torturing you at the same time, but we're knocking you out and we're keeping you alive, but for our purposes.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just a little okay. I thought it was just very unsettling because it was just kind of like this whole like, oh, this woman, she's trying to find a date and, she's trying to find happiness and dating. She has a friend who keeps on telling her, encouraging words, but she's finding these like loser guys. And then she meets this guy in a grocery store and hits it off. And it's just, and the fact that it's just kind of like, so all of a sudden, and, I don't know where I'm going, but like, I'm just gonna, go with it. And then it's like, oh my gosh, terrible.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like it reminds you of all the things that you currently do and you feel so connected. Like if anything happens to me, I have my phone.
Yes.
But all your phone has to do is get overheat and die. Like, and all of a sudden you are untethered from your infrastructure. And you don't feel the need to tell people where you're going anymore because you're so connected all the time. I used to buy furniture off of Craigslist. And it occurred to me one time, like, oh, I just go to random people's houses to pick up furniture. And one of these days, that's probably going to backfire in some way.
Yeah, I guess this movie was the one that kind of put it in perspective of like all the things that you think you're doing that, you think that you're connected, but actually if you just tell someone or, just like, oh, hey, I'm going here or whatever, or even talking about this guy, it's like, he's a surgeon and, nothing much, and not digging into his past or not, really doing your due diligence before you go on a weekend getaway. And so many elements of like him not, either his family is being complicit with what's going on or like the community, it's like a racket. Like I was just like, well, how is the police not involved? There were elements of like, Get Out, like maybe, it's the community, they're doing this. Yeah, there's so many parallels to other like horror films. And I was like, oh, this is awful. Like, how does one get out of this type of situation? Like, what do you do? And it almost seems like at some point she's buying into it, she's complicit, and you just never know because she toes the line so well. And then they have like these really interesting like dance sequence. And I was just like, this makes no sense. Like you should be trying to plot to get away,
I liked her friend's character. Like, even she was like, oh, this guy doesn't have Instagram. Like, that's suspicious. Like, she's calling out things like, So I thought it was good overall. I mean, I would have completely missed it, but I think I would have.
It's there.
Yeah. But for what it was good and entertaining. There are a lot of sirens. happening right now. I don't know if you can hear that.
Oh, I can. Yeah, it's
sorry.
okay though.
There's also a really loud like music thing happening outside the window.
It's New York living.
Right.
Wow, just above average.
Yes, and that's thanks to you because I rated it completely average.
Well, I thought so. Let's see. I think I don't know if I mentioned I like the cinematography. I think the direction was really nice. Like there were some really beautiful shots. The set, that house was like amazing. I guess the cabin in the woods. I was like, oh, that's amazing. Not for the purposes of, what he was doing, but like there were some like grisly shots, I think, of like a meat grinder at some point, and just like these little poignant shots to further emphasize kind of the machine behind the madness, because ultimately he is in some type of exchange with some like club. So it's funny because he's like, he doesn't have Instagram. However, this underground society has some way of like getting in touch with each other on specifics about their food, which is so weird. So yeah, it's like Fresh Direct.
That's true. I mean, the editing of the different shots of people eating and things like that reminded me of the show Open for Dexter, like the old show Open for Dexter where he's eating breakfast. Yeah, I mean, there were tons of references to other movies, even non-horror movies. So cinematography, I'd agree with you. That was probably above average.
Yeah, I just felt like, the story for me didn't really stand out because it took so many elements from other things. So once I realized like what it was about, and it wasn't a drama or romantic comedy, which it kind of, frames it up. Like it could have been like, oh, a fresh new take on like a romantic, like, no, all these elements from other movies. And then it was just like, is for me, I was just like, okay, like how is this gonna end? This is very discouraging.
Right, now you can't even meet people in real life.
Right, it's like she's probably gonna be single forever and never trust another person's, especially in the grocery store. And then her friend is probably like, I told you so.
She's a good friend though. And the dude who worked at the bar also.
Oh yes.
Like,
yep.
Although I agree with him, I would not have stayed either. I would have like backed out of that driveway so fast.
Yeah. Oh gosh. It's just, it's really, I was like, oh, I wanted so much more out of this.
Do you have anything to plug in this episode?
So no, looking forward to, I guess, the pre-summer movie, countdown of things like another multiverse, the Doctor Strange 2, and some other indie films that are coming out. How about yourself? Do you have anything to plug?
I am volunteering for the New York Asian Film Festival, which is coming up in July this year. So they're setting their programs now. And I know they're working on getting some Q&As together. So that more information to come on that. But that'll be fun, right? When it's like summer is at its hottest point. So
you want to go into theaters?
Yes, for sure.
Cool.
Well, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.